What's going on, everybody? It's Andrew Vascassenno here with eXp Realty out here in beautiful Denver, Colorado. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. Today's video, we're going to talk about what there is to do out here in winter in Denver, Colorado. You wouldn't tell, but right now it's winter. I've got a short sleeve shirt on. It's about, what are we at, 50 degrees out. So some might consider that cold, but when you got that sun shining, then you can't even tell it's cold. So with all that, let's talk about some things to do out here in winter. Oh, and one more thing. If you're thinking about moving out here, have questions about moving out here, feel free to reach out to me. I have my information below. Text, email, whatever you want to do. Drop a comment, DM on the other socials, and I'll be happy to help you. And let's jump into the video. All right, number one on the list is gonna go sledding. And right now, if you look behind me, there's not much snow. We're in the middle of January, so it's a bit of a dry winter this year. But in a regular winter when we have a little bit more snow, and maybe we'll have some later in January, February, and March, it'll be a great time to go sledding. Denver itself, the city of Denver and the metro area, it's not very mountainous. It is hilly, and there are different spots around where there are hills where you can go sledding on. So if you do have a good snowstorm, grab a sled, go to any of the retailers, you know, Walmart, Target, local place, whatever it is, pick up a sled and go find a nice little hill to mob down on. That would be number one. And number two on the list is to go ice skating outside. So there's a rink downtown Denver that allows you to go rent skis. I believe it's maybe $5 to $7 to rent some ice skates. It's about $5 to $7 to rent those. So if you don't have your own pair of ice skates, you can go there and rent them. I'll drop a link for that area down below so you can kind of get an idea of it, see when it's open, when it's closed, what their hours are. So if you're flying in or you're planning to fly in or you live out here, you can plan ahead. There's also, if you like ice skating, it's a little bit outside of Denver, but if you go to Evergreen, Colorado, which is just in the foothills, actually you can see it behind me, can't see the foothills, but just behind me are the foothills, and you go to Evergreen, Colorado, they have the Evergreen Lake. It's a massive lake that freezes over during winter. Right now, I probably wouldn't suspect it's I don't know, too safe or too exciting to go on because of how warm it's been. But, you know, later on in January, February, it might get a little bit better. So again, I'll drop that information down below so you can go to their website, kind of check out what's out there and see if it works for you. They also rent ice skates. They rent ice skates there as well. And both of these locations will have like food trucks and vendors and that kind of stuff. So it's not just you go onto this lake and skate and there's nothing else. You can get food and all that kind of stuff. So definitely go to those links, check it out, and it'll be something fun for you and the family. All right, number three on our list is going to be downtown again, and that's going to Union Station. So during the holidays and during the winter months, they decorate it with plenty of lights, the tree, all that good stuff. If you're not familiar with Union Station, it's the main hub for the trains to take you pretty much anywhere in Denver and the international airport, which again, if you haven't been to Denver, the airport's in the middle of nowhere, so it's nice to have a train to get you from downtown to there. It's super far east, so definitely look that up on a map if you're coming out here. But they have plenty of drinks. You can get some hot cocoa, some alcoholic beverages, just hang out in the station, see the cool old architecture, walk around downtown. So kind of that whole area is cool to check out. Probably a little bit cooler to check out when it's snowing and when there's snow there. I mean, you could check it out when it's dry and there's no snow anytime during the year. So if you want to see that, go check it out. Downtown Denver, it's a good spot to see. And number four on our list is the Denver Botanic Gardens. So normally during the spring, summer months, the warmer months where stuff actually grows, you can go check out the plants, the trees, the shrubbery, all that kind of stuff. But during the winter months when everything either A, dies, or B, goes into hibernation, I don't know, I don't grow plants, so I'm not sure what the term is for it, excuse me for that. But During those months, you can go check out all the lights they put on out there. You know, they'll wrap the trees and shrubs that don't have any leaves during this time with lights to make it light up and all that good stuff. I believe right now it's over though. I think it runs from about mid-November to end of December or early January. You have to double check me on that. I'll also drop that info below so you can look at it. So if it's not going on now, you can check it out next year. But another cool thing to check out if you're in the Denver area and if you want to see what they got going on during the winter months and the holiday months. All right, these next few I'm going to cheat on a bit. These aren't necessarily in Denver. At the end of the day, Denver's a metropolitan city. You know, it's got all the same things that any other city's gonna have, except it's a little bit higher in elevation. It has snow. So I mean, you do the same stuff, but with snow. So we're gonna go a little bit out of Denver to talk about some other stuff to do out here if you're visiting, or if you live out here and you just want to take a quick day trip to see something. And number one is gonna be skiing and snowboarding. So this one's pretty obvious, I think, for most people, but a few things to keep in mind for this is skiing and snowboarding is expensive, so be prepared to spend a good amount of money for coming out here. That includes, if you don't have equipment, rentals, equipment, the lift passes to go to the ski resorts, a rental car if you're coming out here, because all the slopes are in the mountains, and minimum they're about 2 to 2.5 hours away depending on traffic. That's something also to keep in mind, is the traffic out here. So during the snow season and even during the summer season when people are camping, if you want to get up to the mountains, you're talking, let's say you're going to the closest resorts, probably Winter Park or Breckenridge, so you're looking at an 1.5 to 2 hours without traffic. With traffic, potentially 2.5 to 3 hours. So if you're coming out here, plan accordingly. You know, you leave on, let's say, a Thursday to get up there maybe to beat the rush, and if you're coming back, I'd recommend trying to come back, if you can squeeze another day in, maybe Monday, because, you know, Sundays normally everyone's coming back down the mountain, so it's total insanity. Add a snowstorm into that and it could close down I-70, or just make driving down a freeway with snow and ice not so fun. So keep that in mind, plan ahead, and make sure you're ready to spend a good amount of money, because like I said, rentals for the equipment, ski passes, and lift tickets, and finally the lodging. None of these mountain towns are cheap, I would say, whether you're doing Airbnb or hotel. Even if you're using hotel points at like a Marriott or any of those hotels, it's going to be a good amount. You're talking $400 or $500 a night minimum usually. So take a look at that, plan ahead, and make sure you're ready to take on that traffic and those prices. And another fun activity in the snow, pretty much out of Denver, is snowshoeing. So it's pretty much glorified hiking with these big, I don't know what you call them, big shoes, I guess. So you strap those onto your boots and you can hike in the deep snow. Right now, I actually went last weekend, it's not too bad. It's still packed down a lot, not a lot of snow is hit. But if it's worse up in the mountains and if there's more snow, you can get snowshoes, go on these cool hikes. It's a very intense hike. Get ready for your calves to burn. But you can usually rent those snowshoes. Not as expensive as renting skis or snowboards and that kind of stuff, but still a cost to keep in mind. But plenty of trails out there. Most of the trails that we hike during spring and summer when the snow's melted, you can still hike when there's snow on there. Just have snowshoes, and even if you don't think you need them, still highly recommend grabbing them if you're going to be like in the foothills. You might be able to get by with just some boots, but nice to have. So snowshoeing, definitely a good thing to check out while you're out here, or if you live out here and you haven't tried it, check it out. All right, the last thing I want to mention is specifically in Dillon, Colorado. If you're not familiar with Dillon, I actually made a video on Dillon and Frisco. They're two towns right next to each other. Check that out in the card above. But up there they usually have what's called the Dillon ice castles, and it's just really cool castle formations, I guess, just made out of ice. This year, unfortunately, I don't have them. Not sure if it's COVID related or if it's just weather related and it's just too warm to even have ice castles right now. But definitely something to check out. It's not very expensive. It's usually pretty sold out though when they do have it. So if you want to do that, make sure to plan in advance. I'm going to link all these activities and different areas you can go down in the comment or down in the description below. So if you want to check any of these out, you can. But that's going to really conclude most of the things I had to talk about today about winter stuff. There's There's so many different things I didn't talk about, whether it's up in the mountains or it's in Denver. So if you want to see more, let me know. I can make another video about even more things to do in winter, but that's what I got for today. So if you enjoyed it, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe, drop a comment if you have any questions, and of course, here's my information below. If you have any questions about moving out here, if you have any questions about visiting here, just anything in Denver and Colorado in general, give me a call, text, email, whatever works for you, and I will